こんにちは、ゆうきです。今回はイスラエルのテルアビブという町でパレスチナ系イスラエル人のジャミルさんにインタビューしてきました。普段直接話を聞くことがあまりできないパレスチナ系イスラエル人の葛藤について余すところなく質問してきました。そして重なる逆境の中で自分自身がどのようにあるべきか、とても勇気をもらえる内容となりました。それではご覧ください。
Okay, thank you for accepting our interview.
I am Jamil Barber. I am a dentist. I finished my studies last year. I currently live in Tel-Aviv. I'm a local Arab Christian, originally from Nazareth in the north of Israel. As a Christian here, Christians have been here for centuries. Well, I've been born in a Christian family. My mother is a believer, her mother is a believer, and her grandfather was a pastor. People coming here think that all the Arabs are Muslims, and this is very wrong idea because there has been Christian Arabs way before Islam started. There's a saying that Tel Aviv is a bubble inside Israel because Tel Aviv is very secular and very open and very free. Like it is right, you can feel freedom. Because it's very secular, but still the atmosphere here is very away of God. They really mostly don't believe in God. It would be weird for them if you believe in God. Tel Aviv is a big city, and it's a big Jewish city. As an Arab living in Tel Aviv, you can't find your churches that you have in your hometown or your society. You don't have large Arabic speaking community. You can find it in Jaffa. It's a very old Arabic village, but now it's mixed. It's very different than Haifa. It's really mixed, and you can find your place as an Arab there, but not in Tel Aviv. As a believer, we all believe that God has purpose in our lives and has a calling. So I think every believer has first priority of being a servant to God and be faithful to God, who is faithful also to all of us. And as an Arab Christian believer living in Israel, as an Arab we are a minority here in general. As Christians, also a minority inside this Arab minority, the majority of the Arab here are Muslims. As believers, we are a minority inside the Christian minority. So this is a very complicated place to live as a believer, but it is where everything has started. Like Jesus has been here and lived here. Also living in a place that's full of political conflicts. One of my callings in life is being one in Christ as a believers, no matter if you're an Arab or a Jew. Because as you know, we have also Messianic Jews. It's very hard also for them being also believer of the Christ here in this land, especially when politics get inside everything in your life. As two people have a conflict, a bloody conflict, it is not easy living inside the Jewish state. Also, being a minority inside the minority, I mean Christian inside a Muslim majority. Although most of the time we live together and we share the same cities and the same way of life, but I believe that there's a different traditions in way of life, in a way of thinking, and you can hear many times there is a problems between Christian and Muslims. But in general, we live harmony together because we have. I think we have a bigger conflict to face as a minority of being an Arab inside the Jewish. The origin of this conflict are not religious. It's about the nations. As a believer, God has promised the Jewish people that there's this land, but building this state, I don't believe that it was in godly way. All this war and people dying, I don't believe this is a godly way. But nowadays, the media switch it to a religious conflict. It is sad because nowadays most of the people on both sides believe that it's a religious conflict. That's why it puts us also as believers, as Christians, in a big conflict. If we're calling for a Palestinian state, what would it be? If we want to be realistic and building a Palestinian state, it would be Islamic, mostly radicals. We don't call for a Muslim, I call for a secular Palestinian state that I can, as a Christian, as a Palestinian Christian, can have free life. It put us again as a minority in a big dilemma. Building a state of Israel divided the Palestinian people I think, at least into three groups. The one that are living now in Gaza Strip, which is living in very, very bad situation. And they have also the Palestinian people living in the West Bank. It's occupied place by the Israeli army. We demand full freedom this way. Somehow bad life, better than the Gaza Strip, but they are under occupation and it really affects their way of life. And there are Palestinian people living inside Israel, which is, I belong to this. We are the people that stayed inside the border with Israel after 48. That means we stayed in our hometowns, our villages, and we now are Israeli citizens. Our life, we don't have struggle of survival life or daily life. I mean, we have a good life. We go to the universities and we can visit around the world, but still we are struggling for having full rights as citizens of Israel. So every group had their own struggles and facing their own difficulties, which is different from one another, but we still belong to one people, to one nation. It's a very complicated conflict, having a bloody conflict, but I believe that every and each one of us can make his own peace around them. If you practice your peace, if you share your message, if you share your belief around the people that surround you, you have your part of making the peace around. I mean, I've been in Tel Aviv University. We have believer students that we gather once a week. I am one of the leaders of the Arabic students meetings, and we have also Jewish meetings that are also happening here around the university. We have a good communication and good relationship in order to have united meetings. Well, Japan is very far away from here. Japan is very advanced in technology life, hardworking, long history. It's a very interesting place to visit. Sorry for not knowing a lot about you, but I'm happy that we have also brothers and sisters in Japan. I want you to know that we're gonna pray for you to really find the freedom also to share your message around the Japanese people and be a blessing to Japan by bringing the grace of God. You are welcome to visit Middle East and enjoy this lands, the Holy Lands.
いかがでしたか？度重なる逆境の中ではついつい目の前のことに圧倒されてネガティブな態度をとってしまいがちですが、冷静に自分のなすべきことを見つめて一歩一歩進んでいるジャミルさんにとても勇気をもらいました。自分の目で真実を見極め、今できることから一つずつやってみる。それはどのような逆境の中でも共通する大切なことなのかもしれません。皆さんもぜひコメントをお願いします。またブログやクラウドファンディングも下記の URL からチェックしてみてください。その前にチャンネル登録もお忘れなく。またねー。